Hi, and welcome to the Mira online instruction video where I'll cover the core features of the product, from enabling the product to creating, resolving, reprioritizing and visualizing your tasks. First things first, if you just purchased Mira, thank you so much. It's been a game changer for me, and I just know it will be for you too. So I know you'll be eager to get started, but before you do, we need to make sure you're able to access and use it. So let's get into that. As you may be aware, Mira Excel relies heavily on macros. Macros are Excel's way of running automated steps, and each macro is designed to make the app better and easier for you to use. If you are using Windows machine, most versions of Windows will block macros until you manually unblock them. So the first thing that we have to do before opening the file is unblock it. Now to do this, go and find the file you've just downloaded, right click, go to Properties, click on Unblock and click OK. Now, you won't have to follow this step if you're using a Mac, but this is mainly for Windows users. So next, go ahead and open the document. For both Mac and Windows users, you're likely to see another couple of security messages. Number 1, Protected View. You'll probably see this banner for any Excel sheet that you download from the internet. When you see it, make sure you click on Enable Editing. Once you've clicked on Enable Editing, you should see what will be your last Excel message, and that is the security warning to tell you that macros have been disabled. Again, here, just click on Enable Content and we should be ready to go. Okay, let's get started. Number 1, Setup. Before you get started with adding and managing your tasks, go to the Projects and Annual Objectives tab, that's the target icon along the top, to set up what you'll see in the task list. This is where you will track projects, parent projects and annual objectives. Anything you add here will be available in the drop-downs when creating the tasks in the main task list. Now, I've selected projects and parent projects here, but depending on your role, you might want to change that, for example, to projects and customers. Either way, before jumping into your task list, it's worth spending 5 to 10 minutes thinking about how you want to structure this, and remember though, these won't be perfect from day one. They'll evolve over time, so don't worry too much about getting the categories perfect first time. Each project must be related to a parent project, so again, take the time to think about how you want to lay this out. Your annual objectives are also important. At the end of each quarter, you can check whether the work that you've done and are planning to do actually line up with your objectives. And if not, it's a great opportunity to speak with your manager and ensure that your expectations align. When you've completed a project or an objective, set the status to completed, and this will then hide the option from any drop-downs in the task list, but will keep the information ready for reporting and reviewing, etc. Adding a new task. Which tasks should you add to Mira? Now, before adding a task, it's important to understand what tasks to add. Now note, Mira is not a productivity tool. It's not designed to track every single thing you do, and it works on the assumption that you are fully productive every day. Also, please note that this is not a project management software, so do treat this as your own personal to-do list and avoid adding any actions that you have or want to assign to other people. So what do you track? Any task, small or large, that you need to remember to do in the future, such as send a thank you email to your colleague, or something larger such as prep slides for an upcoming stakeholder meeting. And what does not go on your task list? Well, meetings. Let's not track meetings on here. You're already tracking those in your calendar, so there's no need to duplicate that work. And no need to track other interruptions such as chat, phone calls or email interruptions. These are activities that you do there and then and don't plan to do at a later date, so no need to track them here either. Adding a new task. So we're ready now to start managing our tasks. Let's go to the main task list by clicking on the task list icon in the navigation bar. So, I've just come out of a meeting and I've been assigned 3 action items, and I've committed to completing this by the end of next week, which is the 19th of December. Now, I could add these as 3 individual tasks, But I think I'm going to action them all at the same time, so I'm going to go ahead and create a single task. And first things first, I look down my list of outstanding tasks and decide more or less what I want to do or when I want to do these action points. Here, I'm deciding to do them just after my FAQs. So I select where I want to add the task and I click on the plus button in the top left action button section. And this creates a brand new line for me where I can enter the task name and assign the project it's related to, and done. This is now in the task list, ready to go. Okay, so that was nice and quick. I've added the task. The first thing you may notice is that Mira has automatically assigned the default time expected of 1 to 3 hours. Take a moment to think about how long you actually think this task will take and update this if you think that it will be quicker or take longer. In this case, because it's 3 different action items, I actually think it'll probably take me closer to 3 to 5 hours, so I'll update that here. This time expected is crucial as it's the basis of how Mira forecasts your completion dates. So do make sure you keep this up to date, but remember though, your time expected won't be accurate. It often isn't, and that is fine, because Mira will learn your behavior over time to provide more accurate forecasts for you the more you use it. Now, if you remember, I said that I agreed to deliver these action points by the end of next week, so I want to tell Mira what my deadline is. So I click on the Expand Columns button at the top of the page, and here I see several non-default attributes that I can assign to the task. Here I can add whatever additional info I want, which in this case is the due date of the 19th of December. I'm also going to go into the notes section and enter what those action points are for future reference. Quick tip, if you're in the notes cell and you want to add a new line within the cell, pressing Alt and Enter will add a new line. This will automatically change the view for that task to a detailed view, but you can then click on the Wrap Toggle button if you want to revert back to the compact view. So what you'll notice is that as I've added that task, Mira has automatically calculated the estimated delivery date based on the information that I've entered. It's also dynamically recalculating all dates for subsequent tasks. However, this delivery date is currently calculated based on the assumption that all of your estimates are completely accurate. You have no interruptions to your day whatsoever, and you apply 100% of your time to completing these tasks. But we all know this isn't the case. We have several meetings throughout the day. We get all types of interruptions such as Teams, chats, emails, phone calls, etc. Many of these things don't take up much time individually, but all of them together take up a big chunk of your day. So here is where Mira can then calculate more realistic delivery dates based on the behavior it learns from you over time. Complex algorithms work in the background to build a profile of your habits, creating more and more realistic delivery dates. The key areas it looks at are how accurate are your estimates. For example, if you think something's going to take you 1 to 3 hours, you may not be accounting for interruptions such as chat, phone calls, or even toilet breaks. And quite often you might find that what should take about 2 hours ends up taking 4 hours. Some people, however, will estimate differently. Perhaps they estimate conservatively and complete their tasks faster than they expect to. Either way, Mira will learn this about you over time. Number 2, capacity. As mentioned before, you won't spend 100% of your time working on tasks. Maybe you're in meetings most of the day, maybe you need to visit a customer in a different office, or maybe you're attending to emails in between tasks. This is part of the soul of corporate work, and again, this is something that Mira will learn about you over time and can use these learnings to help create that more realistic delivery date for you. So coming back to the product, if I look at the top right corner, I can see the option to include these learnings in my calculations for the estimated delivery dates. So here, I'll click on Apply Estimate Adjustments and Apply Capacity Adjustments. And as I tick those buttons, you'll see that all of those delivery dates are changing and updating to provide a more realistic ETA. What you may also notice is that some of them have changed in color. this is highlighting a risk. So if I look at the task I recently added and open up the additional columns, I can see that my estimated delivery date is within 5 days of my deadline date. So this task is at risk and appears as yellow. If I move down further though, I'll see some of my tasks now appear as red. When I look at these, I can see that my estimated delivery date is now showing as after the due date. So this gives me a really great early indication that I need to reprioritize my tasks if I want to hit those delivery dates. So in this case, I'll move them up my list. I'll select all the neighboring tasks that are in red, and using the order buttons in the action button menu, I can move all of these up the list, and as that delivery date is constantly recalculating, I can settle with my new order and a new confidence that I'll be able to hit my deadlines. Once you've finished a task, it's time to update it in Mira. Go to and highlight the task you've just completed and click on the Resolve button in the top right action section. This will mark the task as resolved. Note that by default, the status will change to complete, the completed date will change to today, and the time actual field will populate with the same as the time expected. Now, if this task has taken longer or shorter than expected, it's really important that you change this to the correct amount of time it's taken you. And there you have it. That covers everything you need to know on the main task list page. Let's now look at some of the other pages. Unavailability. And as you know, we will always have unavailable days, whether it's annual leave, sickness, or even bank holidays. So it's important we capture these on Mira too. Going over to the unavailability tab, the first thing you may notice is that the UK bank holidays are preloaded for this year and next. But make sure you do keep this up to date going forward. Now, I'm taking some annual leave for Christmas this year, so here I'll add an upcoming Christmas leave, which starts on the 22nd of December and will last 5.5 business days as annual leave. And in my notes here, I'll enter time off with family. And that's done. Nice and easy. But now though, when I return back to my task list, I'll see that Mira will show how this impacts your due dates. And in this case, some of these tasks are now back in red again. Now in some cases, the truth is you just won't be able to hit all of your deadlines. Some tasks may turn red, and there's just no amount of prioritization that will let you complete everything. Mira gives you that great visibility, that great early visibility into which items you can complete and which items you just simply can't. And as a result, this provides a great opportunity to reschedule, delegate, or even speak to your stakeholders and let them know, hi stakeholder, just to let you know, new priority actions have come in with tight deadlines. As a result, I won't be able to deliver X by this date. I can get it to you by the end of the next week instead. So something like that to let your stakeholders know. And this kind of keeps expectations aligned and protects you and your colleagues from the impact of those missed deadlines. Gantt charts. This is where we turn tables of tasks into visual timelines. Great for yourself, your manager, or anyone who needs visibility. There are two Gantt chart tabs, the Project Gantt chart tab and the Task Gantt chart, and both have 3 different views. Looking at the Project Gantt chart page, what you see in the top left corner are different ways of displaying your tasks. These are just different levels within your task list. The up arrow refers to the parent project level. So this is going to be the simplest, most high-level view of the work you're intending to do or have done over the time period selected. Mira will look at any tasks that either started or ended within that time period and group them accordingly to give this great, powerful visualization. The next level is the project level, so that's breaking it down to the project level but grouped by parent project. So you'll see all of this data is now grouped by its parent project. And finally, the next level is project only level. This effectively shows the same projects but no longer grouped by parent project, helping us see what that work looks like in chronological order. And we can see here, we can edit the dates we want to review and filter the charts by parent or project only. Moving on to the task Gantt. Now this is similar to what we saw before, with the difference being is that we are now seeing individual tasks on a task level rather than project or parent project level. Now again, we've got these three different views. Each one will show the same set of tasks but group in a different way. First of all is the high level grouping, those tasks by both parent and project levels. Second option is to group by project level only. And then finally the third option will not group the tasks at all, and it will show those tasks in a chronological order. Once again, we can edit those dates we want to review and filter the charts by parent or project only. And that pretty much covers Mira for now. Thank you very much for listening. I wish you all the best, and of course, please do reach out if you have any feedback on what you like, what you don't like, or what I can improve for you. Loads of new features are on the way, so it's always great to hear from you guys to help shape the future of this app. Thanks again, and bye for now.